This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, this is Bill O'Brien, 9th District Councilman, and filling in for Ken tonight as chairman of the January 3rd, 2023 Public Works Committee, which is listed wrong on the agenda. It should be 2023, and calling to order at 5:08 p.m. And I have a motion to approve the minutes of December 5th.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion?
We need
All
a
in
second.
favor? I think
Aye.
Jean Marie seconded, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Aye, passes unanimously. And let's see, Renee's up to bat.
You guys saw my report. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have a couple.
Okay.
The flood chiller project. Are we waiting for a grant for that before anything moves forward, or did we order the unit?
No, we're waiting for a grant. We submitted the grant for it.
Okay. And the grant's for 60% of the cost, right?
Yes.
Tree plantings.
Ongoing. We're trying to finish up. We're hurrying because we've got some, once it gets cold, we can't plant them anymore. So Kelly's
So there's
working.
more to, so like my question, I guess, is there's more to plant. I was talking to Kelly Kerrigan and she said she planted 160.
I think she's got more. I think she ended up with some leftover money, but I don't think we're going to be planting any more this season. We'll come back in the spring.
Okay. Very good. And thank you for reupholstering the chairs in the council chambers. They're great.
Fabulous. Awesome.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jean Marie.
Have you heard of or been alerted to the damage that was done in the Worcester boys locker room or from some form of a water leak?
No.
The gym teachers came to me about it and I had emailed about it, but that was a few months when the school first opened. So I don't know if you want to look into that, but there was some kind of water damage from the previous roof issue that has rendered the entire boys locker room useless, which would be helpful to them because they're saying they can't do uniforms, they can't have, a traditional PE class without the locker rooms. And it's not a vandalism issue.
Yeah, I've not heard of that. I mean, the roof is not done at Worcester yet.
It's pretty bad. I took pictures of it a while ago, but I mean, it's pretty extensive, the damage. It's not something small by any means.
I'll look into it. Not heard of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Renee, any update on the LED lighting at DeLuca?
We have put in the purchase orders for them and the vendor has ordered the equipment. We're waiting for them to take possession of it, but I don't think it's going to happen before winter, before the snow and stuff. I don't see it getting installed before spring.
Right. Okay.
But yes, it's all been ordered through Musco.
And then one thing that's not on here, I just want to bring up about the transfer station. I thought there were some plans to do something down there, but what I wanted to point out was the dumpsters for cardboard are always so full. I don't know if there's any way they can pick them up more often.
I'll talk to Rocky about it. But I think the city carting is probably the one that takes care of it up top. But
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
let him know.
I think they've got 3 down below and 1 up top for cardboard. And it's amazing how much is collected.
Yeah.
Renee, when
All
do
right.
they start looking at street paving options for the next season?
We probably won't start until like March.
March. Okay. I have some areas that I'm concerned with a little bit, and then I just lost my train. Why do we need GPS units in the trucks? Are the trucks being misused, do you think, Phil? Or no?
No, they're not
Yeah.
being used, but it's for multiple reasons. When we're plowing, we used to have the radios that are in the trucks have GPS units built into it, and it came with a software system, and we used to be able to track where they were plowing and be able to see
Okay.
what streets were plowed, what streets were left, all that stuff. And then what's happened is that system is over 8 years old now, and the software is no longer usable. And so it was either upgrade the software and pay a boatload of money, or go with a whole different GPS unit, which was about the same money, but they can't be tampered with. Which is, again, good for a bunch of reasons. If a truck gets stolen, I'm gonna know it. If a truck is somewhere where it's not supposed to be, or idling, I mean, it does all other calibrations and measurements of fuel usage and all kinds of stuff. So it has a lot of benefits to it, other than just, you know,
Knowing where
the trucks are being misused.
Okay, that's good to know. I think that's great.
All right, thanks, Renee. If there are no other questions, we'll go on to John Casey.
Yes, I think I wanted to apologize. I didn't send out some of the attachments when I sent my memo out. So my memo referred to two attachments. I did send them out. I sent one as a plan for the Greenway berm. So yes, you could see a draft plan of that. I did send that to everybody. And then I sent the summary of the Coastal Resiliency Workshop meeting to Aileen and to Laura Dancho, because she had requested it. So Aileen, if you could forward that out to everybody as well. That's kind of an informational item. I do have one action item, and that is for miscellaneous drainage project. And we haven't really talked about this in actually a number of years, but we've had these drainage projects on our list to do for a couple of years, and they're in different stages of being designed. And we're recommending that we get the on-call consultant to finish the designs and to do the bidding documents and the construction oversight for the variety of smaller drainage projects that have been on the books for a while. I did list those drainage projects in item 15 of my memo, so you could, if you have any questions about the specifics. But the cost proposal from the engineer to do the engineering and construction oversight was $81,500. And that would be paid for with the project funding, which is the variety of funds for the variety of projects. Some of it is some bonds that were approved a few years ago, and other is the local capital improvement money we get from the state, the LOCIP, that we have also, have available for us for the project. So we're recommending we engage Westcott and Mapes to do that study for $81,500. Not the study, the design and the construction oversight.
So we want to send this to council with a favorable recommendation?
Yes.
I'm happy to make that motion to forward to the town council with a favorable recommendation to use the Westcott and Mapes firm in the amount of $81,500.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
I'm really excited to see some of these projects. That Washburn and Seabreeze area is in my district, and those people are always getting flooded. It was a concern for me when 99 Holly Lane project was being proposed with that would exacerbate the flooding that those people over there have been experiencing for years. I think it's important for people to understand that the flooding just doesn't occur in the south end. It occurs throughout town, and I'm in District 10, and this is one of my areas. So I'm happy to see this being addressed. My other area is Broadbridge Avenue and Topaz. So thank you.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Thank you, John. John, can you give us a little bit detail about the Metro North Rail Bridge Improvement Project?
Yeah, maybe if I could just run right through my memo, a couple highlights.
Okay.
Again, the item 2, the coastal resiliency, we did send out a draft plan, albeit at the last minute here. So if you could take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions or comments over the course of the next month. You know, if there are any, we could have more discussion at the next meeting. And then Circle Drive Bridge, item 4, we have been, you know, as directed and approved by the Public Works Committee, putting forth a design proposal for that bridge rehab, which is minimal in scale and the least costly option. And we had a meeting with the DEP to talk about permitting that, and you know, they were not in favor of our project. They want to see a rebuild of the bridge, a wider bridge, a bridge that has a natural bottom, whereas the current is just a culvert with no natural bottom. So we have some work to do there. We're going to reassess where we're at and see what it would take to redesign the project, or to discuss with DEP and the Army Corps of Engineers leaving the project that we're proposing in place, even though it doesn't meet all their goals. So we'll get back to you on that, but that's the status report for that project as of this month. And then the Bruce Brook, item 8, I just wanted to remind everybody we did get a grant for phase 1 of that project, but we haven't received it yet. So as soon as we do get the grant paperwork and authorization to proceed with that, you know, we'll begin. But right now we're waiting for the grant paperwork to be awarded. And then the Metro North, item 13, the state is they're studying each bridge along the Metro North rail in Bridgeport and Stratford to upgrade the line for high-speed rail. And high-speed rail will require certain modifications to the bridges because the existing bridges can't support that facility. So they're looking to rebuild the bridges in town. And including in the bridges also includes the drainage structures that cross the tracks. So there's the roadway bridges, and then there's the drainage culverts they're also looking at. One culvert is at Bruce Brook, which is downstream of the project we're proposing north of Barnum Avenue on Bruce Brook. So we're working with them in conjunction to try to get the brook flowing to the best of our ability. Right now, there is a squeeze point at Metro North, so if they can do something there to upgrade the bridge hydraulically as well as structurally, that would be beneficial to us. They are looking at, and they're in the middle of doing their feasibility study. We've been giving them a lot of information on our infrastructure as it pertains to the bridge crossings. They indicate that they'll have a report for the town administration in February to let us know what their ideas are on replacement or rehab of those bridges.
Any chance this will also include alleviating some of the flooding, especially at East Main and
they are looking, yeah, they are looking at the drainage. One of the requirements that they're going to have is to, when they make the bridge more structural, the top supporting beam will get deeper, and that will actually reduce the clearance at the bridges. So they're looking at lowering the roadways at the bridges in order to at least maintain existing clearance, if not make it a little bit better. But that means lowering the road, and that means making the drainage more difficult. So they are looking at the possibility of putting pump stations at the bridges. In East Main Street, the Army Corps is building a new pump station for us down behind Ashcroft, which takes the drainage from East Main Street. So we'll see, you know, we've given the DOT all of that information. So they'll work on the design, conceptual design of the drainage at East Main Street as it relates to the pump station there. And the other ones, they're looking at possibly putting a pump station. They did indicate to me that at Bruce Avenue, they didn't feel that they could lower the roadway. So that may result in a bridge that has less clearance than it currently does.
Wow.
And, again, that's just a discussion I have with them. So they're going to be submitting their report in February with all of their recommendations.
I can't imagine having less clearance with all of those bridge truck crashes that
Yeah.
we must have, like, what, 10 a year at least.
Yeah, and they know it's a problem. So they're
That's
going to
scary.
evaluate it.
That's scary. And then to make the road lower, we're just going to have a deeper, oh my God, like a pond there every storm. It's a big project. I'm
Yes.
interested to listen to what their ideas are, since I'm not an engineer. Good for them. That's amazing.
And hopefully this project will get rid of those unsightly bridges too.
This might be like a novice question, but why can't they put those wires up before the bridge for the head clearance for trucks? Like so many areas you see elsewhere in the state or country, they have like a lead wire, so the truck would hit that kind of first before they actually hit the structure. Because now that we're talking about lowering these things, well, not us talking about it, but we're gonna have more of those incidents as well. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure these things have been talked about for years with these stations, but I just have always been curious.
Yeah, we did talk to them about that, some method of pre-warning because they know that even when they finish their project, they're not going to have full clearance. So, we asked them to evaluate different methods for alerting the trucks before they get to the bridge.
Thanks, John. Anybody have anything else? If not, I see the next regular meeting is Monday, February 6th at 5 p.m. And I recommend virtual because February 6th is infamous for snowstorms. So keep it virtual.
February 6th, Public Works.
Oh, I'm going to put that in the minutes, Bill. Thank you.
And then new business, that we already talked about that, right, John? Miscellaneous drainage.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So with
Then we
that,
go to meeting.
we need one other motion.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Okay, good job.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you.